The Pragmatist by Dorothy Canfield Fisher. Read by Blissett. Lord, who shall abide in thy tabernacle? Who shall dwell in thy holy hill? He that speaketh the truth in his heart. As he lay dying, he shuddered at the thought of his lifelong duplicity. He had always worn a mask. He had never been his true self. In the isolation of the sick room, he faced the facts with horror. He had been a hypocrite since the beginning of his conscious life. And yet, as he went wearily over the years behind him, it seemed that as each day had come upon him, the long fraud had been necessary. The time had never come when he dared lay it aside and be himself. Thrown constantly with weak and wavering souls, it had seemed impossible not to pretend to a courage and certainty he could not feel. Passing his life among fretful complaints, he had felt so keenly the need of serenity and faith that he had counterfeited them, ransoming from doubt those he loved with false moneys of a calm he himself dared not trust. Driven to bay by his realization of the futility of resistance to the powers of evil, he had fought desperately and hopelessly with a sword of integrity in whose temper he had no confidence, making a show of battle which he knew could mean only defeat. Knowing the enemy to be irresistible, he had encouraged others by heartening cries to follow him upon a quest at once aimless and futile. All in him was a sham. He had never spoken a consciously true word. Upon the wretched world about him he had showered a flood of reassuring thoughts, of inspiriting phrases, of resolute aspirations. And all with the sinking heart of one who speaks of a cheerful tomorrow to a man lying at the point of death. A web of falsehood, all his much-praised life. And now he was come to the end of it. He was an impostor through and through. The very face which lay on the pillow was not his, since it was calm from a long habit of hiding his base and real passions, hardened into a mask of mock courage above his fainting heart and weak, despairing soul. A death-like chill crept upon him. This was the beginning of disillusion, he thought. Soon the mask would be torn from him, and his true face of agonized doubt disclosed. In the unsparing mirror which death was about to hold before him, he would at last see himself as he really was. And he trembled in an awful terror. Yet those who were with him at the last say that at the end he cried out in a loud voice of exceeding joy. That was The Pragmatist by Dorothy Canfield Fisher. Read by Blissett.